Hey everyone, this is Fi. Checking out the Gunslinger. Gonna give this a playtest and see if we can give some useful feedback. I've got the game page open here. It says the Gunslinger is a third-person shooter that has roguelike elements. It has 50 levels, 23 tracks, 5 bosses, and 1 ending. Most of the trailer was made with webcam. I'm gonna skip over some of this. This is he's testing it to see if it's worth putting on Steam. I should warn players that near the end there is a level that might be considered eye gore. I don't think most people will get to that point for a bit, but just a heads up, okay? Yeah, I don't know if we'll get that far either, but we're gonna give this a shot and see what we can figure out here. The game appears to be running in borderless windowed mode, which tends to impart a little bit of an input lag. I always like to do exclusive full screen whenever possible, just to get the most responsive experience possible. I don't think there's an options menu. I haven't seen anything past the screen so far. Music is pretty cool. It's got this kind of, I don't know, sort of abstract sound to it, and I will note it does seem a little bit loud. I had to turn it down a little in the capture, so I tend to tell people to make their games a little quieter when I'm playtesting them, but I guess we're just going to click on start, and alright, we got a very interesting aesthetic here. It's got kind of a texture, almost like a canvas texture to it, so it looks kind of like a oh, very weird. Okay, so I think I went into like a car or something. Okay, I died. I don't know what's going on. Alright, it's pretty trippy. I think I touched the car and then it brought me somewhere else. Now it's telling me to go up, I think. Left click to fire, get to the goal, good luck. I was gonna say it looks kind of, the visuals look kind of like a weird combination of like hand-drawn and like pixel art and stuff. It's very strange. Okay. So a few things I noticed. One is that there's a huge amount of inertia on the movement. Oh. Well, that's not just... Okay. Now why does it... And then you blow up and die. Right? I can still shoot while that's happening. I have no idea why that happens. Apparently these are all like other people. The movement is very strange. You do have a ton of inertia, but it's like not just straight up inertia, because once you hit a certain speed, you kind of, the inertia kind of turns off. You can kind of change direction much more quickly. But it's only if it's like if I'm going one way and I try and go the opposite way, it doesn't change direction so quickly. It's only if I like go up and then go back this way. It's very strange. And otherwise, if I kind of don't go fast enough, you can see it's sort of like I'm on ice skates. I don't really know what the thought process is behind this. For this kind of game, I would definitely prefer to see much... Oh, this is getting pretty loud. I'm gonna have to turn this down, just in case. I don't know how it sounds to you guys. I gotta turn it down my end so I can hear myself talk. Very strange music. Pretty trippy, kind of cool, but pretty loud too. But yeah, the movement for this sort of game, I definitely would prefer to see much less inertia. I don't really... Oh, okay. Apparently you die in one hit, and you can also die, I assume, by touching someone. But yeah, the fact that this kind of switches between... Once you hit that that speed... I also can't press R until I die. Okay. That might be a nice thing to change. Once you hit that speed threshold where it kind of changes your movement, it kind of creates a bit of an inconsistency in like what's going to happen when you press a movement button. So it might just like suddenly spin like that, or it might kind of still be in the sort of skatey inertia mode if you're not going quite that fast. It's all very strange, so I would simplify that, and I would suggest, much less inertia get it nice and low so that the movement is just responsive. So you just kind of go in the direction you press. That would be, in my opinion, much better. The bullet is very slow. This tends to also be something, for games like this, it tends to work much better if your attack, the velocity of the bullets are much higher, because then, again, it's more responsive. You don't have to predict so much the enemy movement, which in some games that can be okay if you want to incorporate prediction, but if the enemies aren't moving in straight lines all the time, if they kind of change direction a lot, then end up in situations where you actually can't predict things, then it just gets frustrating. Nevertheless, I did notice that I died pretty much instantly when I got close to this enemy. Again, the movement just feels wacky. The hitbox seemed a bit larger than the enemy itself, which is definitely not such a good thing. Assuming I... Okay, and same on the bullets. So something with the collision boxes, you definitely don't want to get in the situation where it seems like you're getting hit when it doesn't look like you're getting hit. I worded that really bad, but I mean, you know, you want it to look like the visual is like actually hitting you. You want it to feel like you actually got hit by it, and not that it like just missed you but you still died anyways. Mistake a lot of people make is making the collision boxes too large, and that can be larger than the sprite is like almost never okay, but also sometimes even the same size as the sprite can be too big. So I would definitely shrink those down, especially with these little tiny bullets. Make sure those are nice and small. Make sure my player hitbox is nice and small. Enemy hitboxes can be larger because you can make them a little more forgiving for hitting your own shots, that kind of thing. But I think before I died from just touching it, which is proving hard to actually test out because those bullets kill you quite easily, especially with the like super high inertia and stuff. Also, it seems like the player has kind of the same bullets as the enemies in terms of the speed and size and everything. Sometimes it can be, or most of the time, for a single player game, it's nice if the player has sort of the advantage where his bullets are nice and fast while the enemy's bullets can be slower. So I just want to see if they kill me from touching them. Like, I kind of need to know that for actually even just playing the game normally, not just for the sake of playtesting, but it's like information that is going to inform me on how to play. I don't know how many bullets they have before they stop shooting, and it's proving very hard to kind of avoid this guy's bullet. I think he's waiting to see me or something, I don't know. Did they just keep shooting until they decide not to? Is that the thing? I thought they were gonna have like a period of time where they're reloading or something. Alright, well, I'm just gonna assume that touching them is gonna kill you also. Yeah, I'm not really sure like how to avoid getting hit by the bullets with the collision being that unforgiving. Alright, so a couple things I'm noticing which are interesting. The camera doesn't move in the game so far, which with this kind of control setup means you can kind of just position the mouse where you want, and then you can just kind of move. And like I don't even have to use my other hand to like compensate. Most games like this, because the camera moves around, you have to kind of move your mouse and the player at the same time, and it can be quite difficult to do both accurately. Oh, looks like I'm getting some weird collision with the wall here. So that's interesting. Unfortunately, with the input lag, it does make the aiming a little sluggish, which is just going to make it a lot harder to be like really fast and accurate than it would be otherwise. But I can do this. Where am I? Okay. Alright, yeah, so I just kind of instantly died. I don't know what I could have done about that. There wasn't any like period of reaction with like the inertia. Maybe if I had pushed to the right really fast, it might have like moved me out of the way if I had like super fast reaction time to that. That was kind of weird. I wasn't even trying to go there, but yeah, movement's all pretty wonky. All right, yeah. So in a lot of these cases, it definitely doesn't look like the bullet's even hitting my guy, and the game doesn't seem to present me with like an option for avoiding bullets other than like strafing around someone. But it seems like that's what I'm doing and I'm still getting hit. So it's kind of like, at that point, what else do you do? Obviously you can kind of shoot them first. Or you try to time between their own shots or whatever, but oh gosh. That's a lot of time in between your shots. Isn't necessarily bad if the amount of enemies remains this low, but if we start getting more that we have to deal with at once, it could be problematic. What else was I going to say? Oh yeah, when the screen transitions, like I have to search around the screen for where I am. I don't know where I'm going to show up on the screen at that point. Okay. That was the case. The enemy was kind of moving, the bullet travel time is a bit slow, so I had to do more than just like hover the mouse and leave it there. Oh gosh. Oh, that was weird. Are there any other buttons? Looks like spacebar shoots for whatever reason. Sometimes the bullets seem to like hit the wall before they should or something. Like maybe the collision's a little wide. That's a little... I mean, having a larger collision box isn't necessarily bad. It helps if the visual kind of matches it better, maybe, but... Oh gosh, that was weird. Oh, that guy just like teleported or something? Where am I? Okay. Top right. Watching me. I don't know what these guys even do. It seems to be some kind of a turret or something. Guess you can get up behind guys and they won't shoot at you yet. Okay, this thing I guess doesn't take damage because my bullet appears to go through it. And that's actually extremely dangerous now that I think about it, with how easily these bullets have been killing me. Oh gosh, yeah. Another thing that would be nice is if the when you did die, the screen didn't immediately transition to the game over screen. It'd be nice if you could kind of see yourself die and then you could see the rest of the screen for even just, you know, 2 or 3 seconds or something. Because otherwise it's very startling, kind of, the transition. And also means you can't really see, like, sometimes you can kind of miss what happened. And that can make it especially frustrating, like if you just suddenly died and you didn't quite realize why. I'm dropping frames for some reason. It's almost certainly related to this being in borderless windowed mode. Again, if this was exclusive full screen, that would probably not be a problem. You might have heard a couple notification sounds. Apologize for that. But yeah, I think these are, you know, obviously these are all things that could be fixed pretty easily. But for me, it would make this a lot more playable. Okay, I guess this is all the controls, assuming these are the complete instructions for how to play. Alright, I'm kind of trying to keep moving now because of the way the movement's kind of weird. See if that helps, but Often not really. Ooh. Oh, okay. The bullet doesn't actually go exactly where you aim even. And I can kind of see why. The gun is offset from the character model a bit, so if it went right through the reticle, it would kind of sort of cross over. So, for instance, if I put this halfway between me and a dude, it would kind of like hit to the left of him because it would be kind of a diagonal. Maybe you know what I'm talking about. Might be nice just to kind of move that right in the middle of the character. I don't think anyone would actually care that it's not coming out of exactly out of the gun there. I have noticed that it's tended to just kind of feel like it's not quite on target when I shoot, and I think that might be why. So, because it literally isn't. It's not off by very much, but I would tweak that so it's, you know, a little more honest. The thing is, it's really weird that the reticle actually goes behind the walls, so sometimes you can't see where your mouse is. That's potentially a problem. Oh gosh. Yeah, it feels like I get stuck to the walls because the inertia is kind of pressing me against them. Oh my gosh, okay. Well, let's try one more time. Of course, I'd like to get a little further to kind of see more of the game, but I think for the most part, probably the things I said would probably make a pretty massive difference in how the game is playing currently. Oh shoot, I was pretty sure that was gonna hit him. So that might have been a case where if the bullet was more centered to the reticle, it might actually hit him. Because I was pretty, I thought I was gonna hit him, but I missed, and that's pretty wacky. So yeah, I did say one more time. I should probably wrap this up and move on to something else. But I hope that there was some useful feedback in here. I know it's kind of a bit long-winded sometimes, me trying to explain my thought process, but hopefully that was useful. Definitely let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you in the next video.